Hey, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to make this video just to kind of talk about this trim issue I'm having. So I did the blue one, I did the unboxing video, put the rear steer servo in it, had absolutely no problem. Like, I literally plugged it up, put the horn on, the horn went exactly straight up and down, all was good, steering was perfectly fine. So I don't know if you can see this or not, how well this comes off on camera, but if you notice, my truck tires are both turned slightly right. When it drives straight, it is driving straight right now, but if you notice, the body kind of has a slight, looks kind of crooked. So the reason this is I've got the steering trim in the front trimmed to kind of compensate for what's going on the rear here. And my screw's not in right now because I was still adjusting this, but if I put that, what that needs to do is to be sitting like that. Okay, now of course I'm turning my axle to make it like that, but the tooth is not aligning. It either wants to go one way this way too much or one way this way, and there is no trim adjustment with this remote. So I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know what to do. I've played with it. I even switched the steering link here to the other side, flipped the servo over to try to get it to see if there was any kind of, maybe the tooth being upside down would be in a different spot, but it's not. So I really don't know exactly what's going on with that, but I'm fine with it the way it is right now. Some people would be annoyed. I was very annoyed. I mean, I spent a good half an hour, 40 minutes playing with this thing, trying to adjust it, but it is definitely off, and some people might not be happy about that. So I am going to contact Redcat. I'm going to show them this video, talk to them about it. Again, my front is off right now too, also not up and down, but that's because I got them turned slightly to compensate. So if I were to turn that wheel, I mean, I could trim it, but we'll see. We'll do it that way here. Let's look at that. I'm going to turn this wheel till my wheels are straight. So my wheels are straight right now, and that horn is straight up and down like it should be. And that's how the other one was. We're only talking a millimeter here, guys, but I'm 1 for 2 for this. This is the second one I've done, and this is a problem. So not a big, again, I'm not calling it a problem, but right now it's an issue with no trim adjustment. So I will find out exactly, I guess, what could be causing that, other than, like I said, the tooth just being off a little bit. But that was my compensation for it, guys, is I just pick the lesser. If I did it on this side of the horn, it's more, so it's definitely even more turned, but then this way. So I chose the less turn here, and I compensated with the steering trim up front. I also tried to hook a splitter up and see if I could put a splitter on and just have the remote where the wheels turn together, you know what I mean? Like, I just do it up that way at least I could trim them both and wouldn't have that issue. But when you do a splitter into channel 1, or channel 1, it basically makes them both crab walk. So when you turn them, they both turn the same way, and even when I flip this back to the other way, it still turns the same way. So there is no way to make them get that sharp steer with this stock remote. Now I've got a GT5 that I know I can do that with, but that involves getting rid of that 2-in-1 receiver, an ESC, and then, at that point, I'm probably going to put a bigger combo in it. So I'm not going to jump the gun and go do all that just yet. I'm perfectly content with the way this thing is right now, even though it's turned on me a little bit. The body looks a little off. It's fine. I mean, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. I've come to live with it over the last hour of messing with it. But I mean, you can see my tires, right? Now that's normal right now. That will get me straight, but that's where they should be to be straight normally. There to there. That's all it is. And that's one positioning on the tooth difference. So, and you can see back here, that should be straight up and down, and it's not. So I don't know if anybody else, please comment if you guys have this issue and happen to, figure out a way to trim this and get this to work. If you tried a different servo horn and maybe that servo horn was, able to work. I have not tried a different servo horn. Oh, but let me cover this, because this was weird too. So when the front was perfectly fine and everything on the trim was perfectly good, and the rear was off, what I tried to do was I flipped channels, right? I thought maybe I could adjust the trim in the rear and have it stay. I knew that was a pipe dream, but I thought I'd try it. But when I did that, what happened was the mess up went to the front. So then my front, which was no longer able to be trimmed, was off. It kicked it just that one hair off, and that was just by changing the thing. Then I was able to get the rear to drive straight, and then the front was off. So it was one or the other, and it seemed to both be related to channel 3 positioning. So when channel 3 on that receiver, so I don't know if that's a receiver issue between the two trucks. When I get the other one in here tomorrow, we might play with them and see if, one makes a difference versus the other. Might take the servo off the rear and try the servo I put on that truck with the horn, just to eliminate and try to narrow it down. So if I do find anything on my own, I'll make another video and address it, what I was able to do in case you run into this issue. But if you guys find it before I do, please comment, man. Give me some heads up, because it'll be a while before I really get a chance to dig into it past tomorrow. So if I don't find anything or past tomorrow, I'm just going to be happy with it for a while. But if you're 2 months later and this video's been out and you found the solution, drop me a comment, man. You probably be helping me out, because if you don't see a video from me first, that means I haven't figured out this issue, or I changed the remote and combo and just went with a different route. So, but I appreciate you guys, man, for listening, and give me any feedback you can, please.